Hello and welcome back to Learn Linux TV. In this video, I'm going to walk you guys through the process of installing Linux Mint 20, which was recently released. Now, a few disclaimers before we get started. First of all, I'm going to show you how to wipe your drive and install Linux Mint as your only operating system. So I'm going to assume before we get started that you've already backed up all your important files and settings. Also, the installation process has not changed in this version. So if you've already seen me walk you guys through this process in the past, you may as well stop watching right now because, again, this has not changed, so nothing new here. This is for those of you that have not already seen how this process works. If you are interested in doing a dual boot instead, I'll have a different video for that. This is for a full install. That's what we're going to do in this video. So let's go ahead and dive right into the installation process of Linux Mint. So to get started, what I recommend that you do is create a bootable flash drive with the Linux Mint ISO download file that you can get from their site. I have a video on my channel already that walks you through the process of taking an ISO file and turning it into a bootable USB. You can use the Etcher utility for that. I'll have a link in the description below. And if you need a walkthrough of that process, you could check out that video, which is already on my channel. Now, I've already set up the flash drive. I have it right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in the computer and then turn it on, and we should be good to go. So at this point, I'm going to press the boot key, or the key that opens the boot menu on my computer, which is different for everyone. In my case, as you can see, it is F7, so that's what I pressed. And if you didn't already know, I don't use virtual machines on my channel unless I tell you guys that first. So you are going to see this entire process on the actual hardware itself. This is the actual boot screen on this laptop. So basically what you do is you just select the flash drive or whatever designates your flash drive. In my case, it's this oddly named thing right here. So I'll select that and press enter. Now here we have the initial boot screen for the Linux Mint installation media. The first option will start Linux Mint in live mode, which I'll cover shortly. We also have a compatibility mode option that you should only choose if you're having issues. So if you have any issues getting this started, that's something you can try. OEM mode is beyond the scope of this video, but basically if you are installing Linux Mint on a computer that you plan to sell or give away, it essentially allows you to set up an installation that will ask for a username to be created at first boot, kind of like OEMs do for computers they sell, basically. We have an integrity check and hardware detection modes here. Not going to go over those, but I do want to mention the memory test because that's something that you should try about once a year. It's not required, but I really do recommend that because I've seen a lot of people out there use Linux Mint on older computers and they'll have memory issues and not know it because their previous operating system was working just fine, and different operating systems handle memory problems differently. So I recommend you give that a shot. You never know. Maybe you'll find that you have defective RAM and then you'll need to replace it, but if nothing else, you've wasted about 15 minutes of your life, which is about how long I recommend you run that test before you restart. But anyway, I'll go ahead and press enter on the first option here to start Linux Mint in live mode. And here we see the boot splash. That's pretty cool. It's starting up. This is an older laptop, so it might be a little bit faster for you than it is for me. And here we are running Linux Mint. If you didn't already know, Linux Mint starts in live mode, which basically means it's treating the USB flash drive as a hard drive and actually running the operating system, which gives you the opportunity to test it out and see if you like it before you go ahead and install it. Before you wipe your hard drive, though, and install Linux Mint, I always recommend that you test everything first before you install. Every now and then on my channel, I'll see comments about people installing Linux and then something doesn't work. In my opinion, that should never be the case because you should have already tried it first before you went ahead and installed it. So one of the first things you should do is connect to wireless if you do have a Wi-Fi connection. I'll select my wireless network right here. If you have a cable plugged in, then you're good to go. But I'll go ahead and put in my password. and it's telling me that the connection was successful. And it's already gone ahead and set up my printer, which is pretty cool. So already I know my display works, I know that my Wi-Fi card works, and even my printer works. So it's looking pretty good for me, actually. And to make double sure, I can go ahead and open up Firefox here and browse the internet, just make sure that I'm able to do that. And it's working fine. So I just recommend that you test it out, make sure everything works. For example, if you have multiple monitors, make sure that works. And maybe play some YouTube videos or something like that, make sure your audio works. And if all the boxes are checked, you should have no problem. So I'll go ahead and close this, and then we can double click on the Install Linux Mint icon right here to go ahead and get the process started. So first of all, it's asking you for what you want the language to be for the installation process. It defaults to English, so I'm going to leave that as is for the default. Keyboard layout, I'm going to leave as the default as well, but if you use a different keyboard layout, feel free to go ahead and change it, and then you can go ahead and type in this box right here to test your keyboard layout, make sure that it's working. Click Continue. Now here we have an option to install multimedia codecs. I do recommend that you guys do that. I can't think of any reason not to. I don't really feel that multimedia codecs are all that much of a problem nowadays. But if you're going to go ahead and play some video files or audio files that you have saved, then it probably makes sense to go ahead and check this. And even if you don't plan on using that type of media, then it still should be fine. It doesn't take up much space. So here we have a few options, and it's going to look different for me because I was already testing Linux Mint before I started recording this video. In your case, it's going to call out whatever operating system you have installed currently, whether that be Windows, another Linux distribution, and so on. And it defaults to install Linux Mint 20 alongside your current operating system. Now the first option right here gives me the ability to reinstall Linux Mint in place, which is great if I'm just basically wanting to delete all my data and programs, but essentially have a fresh Mint 20 install. Now I'm going to choose the option right here to erase the disk and install Linux Mint, which again is going to delete everything, so I'm hoping that you've already backed up anything that's important. And we have an advanced features button right here that gives us the ability to use LVM if we would like to do that, completely optional. If you are curious what LVM even means in the first place, I have a video dedicated to that, so feel free to go ahead and watch that video if you are curious. But one of the things that using LVM allows us to do is encrypt our installation, and that's important especially if you are going to be storing company data. If your laptop gets stolen, then you don't have to worry about someone having access to your files if they pull the hard drive out and try to pull the data off of it, for example. Now I'm going to just keep it simple and choose none for now. And I'll click OK, but go ahead and encrypt yours if you'd like. I'll click the install button. And it's basically just confirming that we do really, truly want to erase the disk. And I do, so I did. I'll go ahead and choose my location. This will help set the time zone. And here I'm going to fill out my information. And it's actually installing in the background, which is pretty cool. So it's basically multitasking, which is awesome. So I'm just going to simplify my computer name here, and I'll put in a password. I'll type that again. And we can choose to log in automatically if we don't want to put our password in when we start the computer, which of course means that we'll have a lot less security, so just keep that in mind. It defaults to requiring the password. We can optionally encrypt the home folder as well, which is similar to the encryption option that we saw earlier in this process. But this option here does not encrypt the entire operating system, just your home directory where your files are stored. The previous one actually gives you full disk encryption. So if you want to utilize encryption, just choose whichever one is most important to you. If you only encrypt your home directory, though, there is a chance that data can leak from different folders on your system, so just keep that in mind. I'll click Continue. And it's going to go ahead and go through the rest of the process. Again, it was installing in the background, which is why this bar is already almost full. So I will let this finish, and then I will be right back. All right, and when this message comes up right here, that means that the process is complete. So we can continue using live mode, but any changes we make in live mode will not carry over to the installation. So it's probably better that we go ahead and restart as soon as we can. So I'll remove the flash drive and press enter. And if all goes well, it should boot into our brand new installation of Linux Mint 20. And here we have the login screen basically. So during the installation process, it asked us to set a password, which I did. I'll type that in right here and press enter. And now it looks like everything was a complete success. We have a full installation of Linux Mint 20 on our computer, and it should actually perform faster than it did in live mode because now it's installed on the actual hard drive, which is pretty cool. So we can go ahead and use our new distribution. We can install apps. We can copy all of our files over. So now the sky's the limit, and I hope you enjoy your new installation. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. That was my walkthrough of the installation process for Linux Mint. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. If you want to support the channel and my content, please click that like button if you like this video, and feel free to check out my Patreon page to support the channel further. Again, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.